Hi, Cassie. What did TikTok teach us about our personalities this week?
It is called the Forest Test, and it is a type of psychoanalytic test that focuses on the importance of relationships and their influence on your well-being. So it's like relational therapy. So there are 6 questions.
I love these so much, by the way.
I do too.
And they have a lot of credibility because it is TikTok.
Duh.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Definitely from this one came straight from Freud, actually. I'm kidding. No, it didn't. I'm going to ask you each question, and then after, usually I'll give you all the questions and tell you at the end. This one has a lot to think about, so I'm going to tell you after each question what it means, okay?
And the end result tells us what about ourselves?
Just each question will reveal something about yourself, and it's a way of getting thoughts and emotions to the surface that maybe you've repressed or you've not thought about that aren't super obvious.
Okay.
All right, you'll see when we start going. So you're walking through a forest. Who is by your side? And go ahead and answer. I mean, you can say it out loud.
Yeah, I'm alone.
You're alone?
Uh-huh.
I wrote down my fiance, Tiffany.
Okay. Abby?
I'm going to say Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear? Okay.
My mother was the first person that popped in my head.
All right. The person you're walking through the forest with is supposed to be the most important person in your life.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. So,
Okay, it's you?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's cool. You can love yourself that much. I think that's cool. And Abby, it sounds like you need to find somebody. Instead of the most important person in your life is fictional and does not exist.
Honestly, accurate.
It just gets more sad and more sad.
All right. You come across an animal. What animal do you see, and how do you interact with it? What do you do? Do you run away? Do you attack it?
I came across a deer,
Okay.
and I just admired it from afar.
All right. Bert?
I came across a dog and got down on a knee and started petting it.
Well, that's cute.
I also came across a deer, but I ran away from it.
It was a tiger for me, and I froze and said, do what you want.
The size of the animal is indicative of the size of your current problems. And how you interact shows how you deal with those problems. If it's a passive interaction, you're thought to be less confrontational and maybe are avoiding some problems. But if you face the animal head on or interact with it, then you're not afraid to face hardship and deal with it.
Mose was a tiger, and he was paralyzed by fear.
I gave up.
You got problems?
Big problems, and I give up, man.
Life, take me already.
You come across a house. How big is it, and is there a fence? What does it look like?
All right, so it's there's no fence. It's a cute, quaint little cottage. Yeah, and it's got cobblestone. It's it was built in the 1800s, so it's got really good old charm and character.
Mine is just the opposite. It's a really big modern house on a hill with no fence.
All right.
I think Kristen and I are in the same forest because I pictured a sweet little, maybe it's not like a cottage, but a small house with a nice little river rolling behind it.
Oh, very nice.
A really big, nice home, kind of older. Maybe like the Home Alone home is the way I could best describe it. That's what I saw.
The size of the house is representative of the size of your current ambition. Whether or not it's got a fence is worth noting because it's an indicator of how open you are to new things. So if it doesn't have a fence, you're super open to new things. If it's got a fence, maybe you're a little closed off right now and you're guarded. The style of the house is indicative of kind of what you want to pursue at this moment in life. So if it's quaint and cute, maybe you want to be more of a homebody or just chill out. And if it's super modern, then you want to go for things. And if it's a really big rich person house, then you want to make a lot of money. You go inside. There's a table. What's on it?
Mine was a kitchen table with a bunch of plate settings. Before you eat, all the settings are on the table, but there's nobody around the table. It's just the dishes and forks and knives and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But they are all very neat.
I pictured walking into my house and there's this little side table and there's a bunch of old family portraits.
Okay.
I have a long dining room table with a runner down the middle, flowers in the middle, and 2 wine glasses on either side.
One for you, one for Smokey the Bear.
He likes a good Pinot.
I saw a nice dining room set, marble-like table with nothing on it.
If your answer for what was on the table did not include food, people, or flowers, then you're not as content as you could be right now. The style of how the table is set up is indicative of how you feel about your life. So if it's neat and orderly, you feel like your life is neat and orderly. If stuff is just thrown haphazardly, you feel like your life is a little bit in chaos.
Interesting.
I'm empty.
You walk out of the house and into the garden and find a cup. What does it look like and what do you do with it?
Pimp cup!
All right, so what I am picturing, it's like a glass tumbler, so a shorter tumbler, but it's that milk glass. So it's like a creamy white, and it's that like an antique glass.
Ooh.
Interesting, especially because I'm really not drinking nearly as much as I used to, but mine was like a martini glass.
Okay.
I found a teacup, and I'm gonna go in the back of the little cottage and go in the river and have myself a nice glass of water.
I saw like a white styrofoam paper cup type of thing, and I really hope it's Hennessy in it.
You don't care about the environment at all, do you?
No.
If you imagine the material of the cup is something hard and durable, then this represents your perceived durability of your relationship with the person that you walked through the forest with.
Bro, yours is styrofoam.
I don't like this game, man.
Foam, paper, and glass are considered delicate, but metal and plastic are durable. What you do with the cup is representative of your disposition towards the person. So Abby would drink it from the cup of Smokey the Bear.
Me and Smokey the Bear on thin ice.
Basically means she'd be super open with it. And final question, just outside the garden, there's a body of water. What does it look like? And you have to cross it to get home. So how do you get across it?
It's a big, beautiful lake, and there's a bridge that goes from one side to the other.
Mine was a small creek.
And how do you get across?
I just walk across on the stones. I
On
just
the
hop
water.
them.
You're just walking on the
I'm
water.
walking on water. No, I just there's little stones that you can walk on because it's not overflowing.
So you're getting wet or you're just...
No, I'm not getting wet. I'm just walking on the
Okay.
stones to get across.
Mine was like one of those streams of water where I could just jump to the other side.
Okay.
Mine's that river behind the cottage, and I'm gonna look for a way around it.
All right. It's thought that the body of water is representative of the size of your desire for sex and love. If you're prepared to wade in and get yourself soaked,
I'm done with this game.
Y'all need to think a little bit.
if you're going to get yourself soaking wet, it's supposed to indicate the relative importance of love and sex in your life. If you only dip your toe in or you cross the water on a raft or a bridge or cobblestones, then you don't prioritize it as much in your life. Doesn't mean you don't want it. It's just not a priority right now.
Wow.
Y'all think about that for the next 5 hours. Can we link that up to anywhere on our website?
Yeah, we'll put it up. I'll have Rebecca put it up at thebertshow.com.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched, you can get more of The Bert Show on your favorite podcast platform. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find us. I don't know what any of these buttons do, by the way.